Hello again. So this is now day 2 of game development on a currently untitled project. So let's just hop into it. So there's some new additions. So I implemented enemies. This hitch at the beginning is also new. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe I just need to restart the editor because it's been open for a few days now. But I added in some basic enemies into the prototype. They're already the target enemies, which are nice. But I added in these guys up here, which are the actual enemies. There are two behaviors, charging and orbiting, as you can see. There's a 50-50 chance you get either behavior, and the chargers really don't leave you alone. They do not respect your personal space. I need to sort out something for proper behavior tree management, so I'm not just coding state machines in C#, because that's pain. Oh, they also initially bounced because I didn't freeze their Y position for the rigid body. So these were just boing boing boinging along. I can show that off at the end. But yeah. So I can just clear out some of these guys. You did not see anything. Anyways, you can also hit them when you can also run away from them, and then they lose aggro, and then you can shoot them when they're too far away to respond. And they don't aggro onto you, which is just for how they are right now, it's fine for a prototype. It's not a big deal. Anyways, I'm very curious how that happened. I don't know what this is or how that occurred, but I don't like it. I haven't seen that before. Anyways, getting back onto things. Ignoring that. I fixed a bug where your own grenades could hit you. So these guys, when they exploded, could explode and hurt you as well, which was an unpleasant surprise today. It's not a big deal. It's still very early on, so not a big issue. But yeah. Anyways, there was also another new big addition, tiles. I want the game to have procedural generation, so this is my effort at my first stab at sorting this out. When you enter a tile, the enemies within it activate, and you can start clearing them out. I'm just going to get rid of these guys because they're bothering me. Yeah, so there are currently 4 types of tiles. They have spawn regions in them, so enemies can spawn into them. Enemies now have a point cost as well, so different types of enemies cost more or less, so a room won't be too difficult. It's happening again? That's weird. I swear that wasn't happening before, but this is the nature of game development. You just run into new bugs all the time. Anyways, not important right now. So right, when you enter a room, the enemies within it activate. Right now, enemies can be damaged even if they're not active, which is something I should fix. I should just make it so you can't damage them if they're inactive. spawn regions right now cannot be rotated, which is a problem. Right now they all have to be squares, because if I rotate them at an angle, or if I rotate them 90 degrees as a rectangle, they break, and that's not good. And that's an active problem, because like in this room here, it has to have 2 square spawn regions instead of 1 rectangular one, and that's frustrating, but it's fine for a prototype. You can also notice the shroud deactivating when you enter a room, or activating when you leave it, which is a neat addition. I like that to blend for a moment in the future, but for right now the snap is fine. There are 2 new types of weapons. There's a starburst, which creates a little tube, it fires out and then splits and then splits again. It can do a lot of chunking very quickly if you land a direct hit, but the projectile is pretty slow. So if you're trying to hit a moving target, then it's reasonably difficult. So there's also a railgun, which does a huge amount of damage, but one shot, one enemy hit with it, a very single target. But with this combination, you can start feeling like you're actually coming up with solutions to the problems presented in any given room. For the railgun, I also figured out how to use continuous collision detection. I should probably swap all the projectiles to use continuous collision detection, because that just seems to be better. And it'll solve a number of problems that would crop up if I continue using just triggers, because when you just use triggers for your projectiles, it's problematic because it doesn't actually detect like which enemy was hit first. It just detects that an enemy was hit. So like here you can see like I'm doing this, and the order that these guys die is not the same as the order that they're hit, not necessarily, at least. It won't be as performant, but that should be fine. It shouldn't be a big deal, because there shouldn't be that many projectiles. It shouldn't be that big a drag. There aren't going to be that many collisions. I am worried about the hitch. That's weird. But yeah, you can see that the order that these all die in is just totally random. I also added ammo in the bottom left-hand corner. So there's ammo maximums and recharge rates. So you're encouraged to use different types of weapons, and you can only use certain weapons so much before you have to swap. But that allows certain weapons to be a lot more powerful. So the grenades, you have a quick boost, quick flurry of them shotgunning out into a small room like this one here, which can be very effective at clearing out a lot of small enemies at once. But then it has a long recharge time, so you have to swap over to something else. Or the railgun can one-shot kill something, but you have a cooldown, so you can't just spam it. Or the starburst, is very powerful circumstantially. And as noted, I can also randomize the directions on that, so it doesn't always just have that same center pattern. It can be a bit randomized. So as noted, it's already feeling somewhat fun. You can also vibrate between the walls if I can get this. Anyways, I was able to do this before, but I was able to just vibrate between the walls and just, which is not optimal. That's kind of a bad thing. You can still tell the collision's, a bit glitchy. And that comes from using the update instead of the fixed update. Oh, there we go, got it. And now I'm over here. Anyways, the game being fun to play is a really good sign at this point in time. It feels like, you have to be a bit clever with like what, weapons do you use for any given situation, adapting to what comes up, and, being, picking a selection of weapons so you have a good set of things to use so that you can tackle what problems come up effectively is important. The plan is to have more than just 4 types of weapons, but a couple more than that, and then you can mix and match and come up with your own set of what you want to have. Those boxes are the spawn regions, by the way. Anyways, that is the update for the game. I also want to do a quick response to someone who posted a comment on the previous video. If you're only interested in the game, feel free to click off now. But Momonosuke 4398 asked, question, is this your first project with software? And it is not. I have been doing game development for many years now, both on my own and professionally. I started programming back in middle school with Python. I then used XNA and Unity back in high school for a couple of years. Made a few projects, participated in the Ludum Dare a few times, or Ludum Dare, however you pronounce it. Got some decent results there, particularly with my puzzle games. In college, I used some custom engines and Unreal Engine for a year at the end. For a couple of team projects. And I was hired out of college and had 4.5 years of professional experience with Unreal at Midwinter Entertainment, which was a very fun time. I really enjoyed it quite a lot. There are reasons to pick Unreal. For a project this scrappy and hopefully small, Unity is probably the better choice, so that's what I went with. I could have also gone with Godot, but I don't know Godot yet, and I kind of didn't want to learn a whole new engine at this point in time. I just want to jump in on the project, so I decided to just swap to Unity and use that. So yeah, my time at Midwinter ended February 2024, so I've been unemployed since then. And I finally got back around to doing this stuff in Unity. I was working on a different project for a while, but that one wasn't panning out. So, yeah. If you have any questions or comments or ideas about the game or anything else, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will happily respond to them as I'm able to. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.